Hello, and welcome to a special bonus content episode of yet another retro channel. The reason you see the Coco 3 on the desk today is that I got to reading the documentation for the MaxDuino software that I installed on the TZXDuino I recently built, and I noticed in the list of supported file formats, not only does it support file formats that work for a lot of British micros, the MSX, but it also includes the Dragon and the Coco by Tandy, the color computer by Tandy. And of course, being that I love the color computer, I just had to take a look at that and see what it could do. So I hooked everything up. Now the Color Computer 3 has the Color Computer line, the 1, 2, and 3, have a proprietary DIN jack for the cassette input. And it just so happens that I do have one of the original cables. So I hooked that up and I set up the TZXDuino. And we start the computer here. It turns out in my testing that I've loaded a bunch of cassette files on this, and it turns out they're actually more reliable, it would seem, than loading software onto the Spectrum or the Amstrad CPC. Everything I've tried to load has loaded successfully. So I have queued up Super Pitfall, which was a Tandy release for the Coco 3 only. And I will go ahead and load that. Now, one thing the files don't usually tell you is whether you have a basic program to load or a machine language program. Some of these files will have a basic program that's a loader, and then that'll continue to load the rest of the game once you've run that. I don't remember if Super Pitfall is one of those or not, but this will use the motor control, so motor control is on. I have it set to 3850 baud, but it doesn't seem to matter which baud rate I set. It still takes the same amount of time to load, so I'm assuming there's something in the file that's forcing it to the 1500 baud that the Coco uses. So I'll go ahead and hit play, and you'll see it'll go into paused mode, which it has done. And then when I actually start loading the program, it will play. Now, I'm going to try the basic version first. On the Coco, you have two load commands. CLOAD will load a basic program. CLOAD-M will load a machine language program. So we're going to just use CLOAD, and hopefully this has a basic loader. I think it does. We'll see. I hit enter, and the TZXDuino starts playing. Recognizes Pitfall, and it is loading as a basic program, so it'll stop here, and then I will run the basic program. As you see, the TZXDuino has gone back into paused mode on its own. When I run the program, it'll go back to playing, and it will continue to load the game. I'm going to go ahead and zip through this for you because I think this takes about 4 minutes. Okay, and nearly 4 minutes later, as I thought, we have the game Super Pitfall. It's asking me if I have an RGB monitor, and since I am using the RGB to HDMI, we'll say yes. And here is Super Pitfall. Now, another quirk of the Coco line is, much like the Commodore computers, you never know for sure which joystick is going to be the one it wants to use. Looks like it might be this one. So, whoops. Missed the scorpion, didn't see him. Frog. Oh, hit the frog. Ooh, we should have ducked. Well, that's my game over. But you see, we can load software with the TZXDuino onto the color computer. That's impressive. That's an impressive list of machines. As you can see here, that the TZXDuino with the MaxDuino software on it will work with. You have the Spectrum, Auric, TZX files says Spectrum and many others. I don't know what the many others are. MSX, ZX80 and ZX81, Amstrad CPC, MSX again, Dragon and Tandy Coco, and then BBC Micro and Acorn Electron, though it says with a caveat here that you have to decompress the .uef file first by sticking a .gz extension on them and decompressing them with something that that will decompress the .gz format. So again, that's just a quick bonus episode. I didn't have much to say in this one. I knew it was going to be short. Just wanted to show you that I found out that this thing can be used with more computers than I originally thought. So that being said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that and click the little bell to get notifications when I release new videos. Leave a comment below. That helps the channel, and I love the interaction with you folks. Share the video out. I'd appreciate that if you put it on your social media links. Be sure to check out my friends in the YouTube Retro Repairers group. Those are Peter from 8-Bits in the Basement, Steve from 8-Bit Retro Refix, Neil from Retro4U, Captain Commodore Lee, and Joseph from Joseph Retro Bits. Their links will be in the description below. I will again put the TZXDuino GitHub repository link in the description. And thank you to my patrons. And if you want to become a patron yourself, or you can also donate to me through Ko-Fi. Both of those links are in the description. And I appreciate you watching. Hope you all have a great week. Stay safe and well. And I will see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye.